it's Game Sizzle, and today we are here with Her Story. Now, I know this is kind of like old game, like many people have already played it, it's not really in the scene anymore. Well, I've been saving it for a rainy day, because I hear it's a really good game, so today is that rainy day. Also, other technical difficulties with other games, but, so, without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get started. I don't know a lot about this game. I think, what I do know, however, is that it's only, like, one girl playing, like, all the parts, I think. I don't really get how that would work, but here we go. Okay, well, looks like we have one of those, like, old-time monitor things. Okay, what? Southeast Constabulary. Yeah, no, we're just not gonna. Okay, so here's our clock. Get rid of the clock. Okay. What's a DB checker? Okay, we'll figure out what that means, really. Read me. Here we go. Introduction to the Logic Database. Oh god, here we go. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The Logic Database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be most valuable item in your crime-fighting toolkit. This database contains, I cannot read today, footage transferred from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archive at Portsmouth. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology, with statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so they can be tagged for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed, and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. Here we go. Here's what we need to read. To retrieve a clip, type in word, example, robbery, into the search field, click search. I think there's a word already there for us, so we'll just start with that, I guess. Click search, and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words: robbery, supermarket. If you are working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use invented commas to search for an exact match against the entire statement. Yes, I was there. To store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click in the user tags box and type in your own desired tags. For further assistance, please contact your department. Okay. Oh, really read me. Okay, so this one we really have to read. It's not that long. Hey, here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999. Hey, look, that's the year my sister was born. And then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detectives' footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97, but figured this would be enough. Take your time, SB. Okay. I keep hearing noises, like, off the background, as if we're, like, actually, like, in a place where we're, like, low-key getting, the rubbish bin. Hack info. Okay. Mirror game, what's this? Oh. What are we? Alright, I don't get that. Okay. Let's search murder. Oh, hey, look, we're stuck. So I think this was the girl I was talking about. Alright, so let's start with... Let's just start from the beginning. Okay. play.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay. So this was 27/06/94. Okay.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Wait a minute, why are we looking into this stuff? What are the why are we wondering about this murder? Like what? Why do we need to know? Okay. I think in this it mentioned something about the DV checker. Oh. Okay, so we're just gonna like keep this off to the side for like right now.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Okay. So from what I've gathered, Simon is the one that got murdered. Okay, so that one's there. Okay, so Simon got murdered.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now.
And it's her.
You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
Okay, so anybody that wants to like plead the fifth like that or whatever, I say is automatically guilty. Well, typically if anybody pleads the fifth, they're saying, you know, if you're not guilty, you wouldn't plead the fifth. That's just... Anyway, moving on. So, let's see who this Simon guy is. Oh, what do you know? And they're all from the same day, I think. So that's 06. Yeah, so these are all from the same day.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Somebody's in love.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo instead of spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Okay. So, considering that she had a picture, I'm assuming that they're like dating or married or something. Oh, hey, look, we got some stuff. Like they're either dating or married or something.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Okay. So someone was drunk.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
Okay, so I don't think she liked someone playing games. What's wrong with gamers? I mean, what'd they ever do to you?
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Okay. Alright, so for this database checker, I'm pretty sure that I've realized now that as we watch these videos, these fill in times of events of when these happened. Alright, so, but I haven't been able to find anything that I really want to put into my session yet. She mentioned something about it being an accident. Oh.
When I was 8, Mother died.
Oh.
She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Okay. So her mother died. Okay. What's with the sudden music? I don't like this. I probably spelled dairy, didn't I? No, I spelled diary. Okay.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Okay, so she likes to write in a diary. Okay.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence.
Florence?
When Hannah was born,
Hannah?
I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Okay, so hang on. Did y'all see that? There was like a woman that came up, right? So, that to my session. Okay. So then this is when she mother died, found non-real mother. Okay. So those two kind of go together. Yeah, those two go together. Okay. So Hannah, I'm really interested about Hannah, but let's finish watching these videos.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
Her story.
I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. Well, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. Another day. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
So what happens when you have dogs, people. Alright, moving on. Anyway. So, Florence. So this video was more, not that one. This one is about Florence. Okay, we're not going to add it to our session, we're just going to have that there. Okay, now let's watch this final one.
It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
so one that I'm very curious about is Hannah. Alright, first of all, that's a lie detector test, I'm pretty sure. She has her hair up there. This is the first time we're gonna see her with her hair up. Let's go ahead and watch these.
Yes.
Roll with these
My
ones.
name is Hannah Smith. Oh,
You're-
shit. Sorry.
So that's Hannah, but she just said, "Oh crap, sorry." Does that mean that she's not Hannah? Because, right? So I want to look up lie detector now. Or I'm gonna look that up after Hannah. Okay.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. It was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Oh, did you see that? There was a person there. Okay, the attic as a hiding spot. Okay.
My name is Hannah. Hannah. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street. What are you doing talking about Eve?
Eve? Who's Eve? That, hang on. That isn't normal finger tapping. That isn't normal finger tapping. I want to see what this lie detector thing was about, and then we're gonna look up Eve. Detector. We're gonna look, and then we're gonna talk about Eve.
Yes. I'll take a lie detector test.
Okay, so that's her saying yes, she will take a lie detector test. Okay.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
Guess you're about to find out when you do that part. Okay, anyway.
My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
Oh, so we were right. She isn't. So
I've never taken a lie detector test.
not this one. It's this one. Lie detector name. Yes, we'll make this. Can't write right. Okay, let's see here. And failed name. Okay, so now let's see who Eve is. Oh.
My mother called me Eve.
Her mother called her Eve.
Well, my friend Eve.
So this is Hannah. So Hannah's the
She
one
was
with
a
the
friend
hair
when I
up.
was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
hatred in a second.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater.
What?
There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and
You did what
I
now?
held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
Oh no, honey, no.
But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up afterwards. It was a love-hate relationship. Police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off, I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Okay, she doesn't seem like a nice friend. Okay. So what was I gonna look up? Oh, yeah. Hatred? Okay, so since she held her head. Beach. I feel like there's
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing the bar again, and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
Kiss? Okay.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon.
Oh.
She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date, we went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had the one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant.
What?
From that one time.
Okay, so we got pregnant. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Oh! Hello.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
What? Well, my parents never do that.
Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days.
Oh, I think we're missing something.
I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
You're pregnant now? You're You're pregnant now. Now.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
Okay.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Okay. So Hannah and Eve, they were born at the same time, so they're basically like twins because they look the exact same. And they both liked Simon, so they were both dating and everything. And then Hannah broke the rules, got preggers with Simon. So now she's pregnant with Simon. Okay. So she's pregnant. We found out she's pregnant. Didn't I watch those? I could have sworn I watched those. Did I not watch these? Yeah, I watched that. Oh, I need to watch this one. Okay. There actually is something I want to look back on. Nothing. If we
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Okay. Is that how it's spelled? Ah, here we go. And again, if we get nothing from any of these, I have a suspicion.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
Okay.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
What?
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
So, she went to an abandoned town, Glasgow. Okay. So, I got two things I want to check out. Let's start with the important one, wedding. So somebody got married.
No.
We're gonna find out who.
The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow, so we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognised me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways.
Wow.
I was 17.
Wow!
It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I had a hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? That seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
She has a tattoo on her arm.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
Okay. So I'm just gonna write some notes down. Just some things that I want to look up as I'm watching these things. And I'll cross them off as I look them up.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. It was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Okay. So, in another one, she had mentioned a baby. So she's talking about the baby when she got pregnant. So let's see what they have to say about the about the baby. Okay.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope. No. I lost the baby.
What?
I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the
Sorry
phone.
guys, my throat is really dry today.
I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out.
You guys probably have no idea, like, what is she
I
writing
suddenly
down?
remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes,
I can tell you guys about it
that
after this
pile
video.
was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Okay. Oh. Did you guys see that? There was the guy again with the police sirens. Okay, so what I've been writing down, because you guys are probably like, where is she getting this stuff? It's just thoughts that from old videos and the videos that I'm currently watching. So for instance, earlier when she said that she had met Simon, it was when she was singing in a bar. So I put singing on here because like maybe there's a connection to her and Simon that way. I also put tattoo down because the one girl had a tattoo, and maybe that's a way that you can tell the differences besides just the hair thing. Hannah, or Eve, I forget which one it was, it's very hard to tell, said that she liked dancing with Simon, so I put dance down here. Eric, in the video, like about 2 videos before this, that was like the 3rd time we have heard his name. I put down Florence because Florence was the midwife, so Florence might be important. Florence might be able to help us figure out which one would have more of a motive to kill Simon. I put miscarriage because anybody that has a miscarriage can be driven to do some things like in a video game, for example, this one girl had a miscarriage and murdered her husband along with somebody else. That's just in a video game and stuff, but like it can cause people to do stuff. But sad stuff, because maybe through a depression phase it could have caused her, one of them, or somebody to lash out. I have nursery because they had this nursery ready and then she miscarried. So I'm kind of curious what they did with the nursery. Then for Portsmouth, I put that down because that's where they live. So maybe if we can find a little bit more backstory on where they live, we can form more out about themselves. And then the body in the video we just watched, it says,
Went straight to the back, and
right here.
that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
So alright, so let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and add that one to our session, because she found a dead body. So that's what I have. So we're gonna try and get through them all. This is probably gonna be put into parts, because I have some stuff that I gotta do later on today, so I'm hoping I can get through. Well, I mean, based on this database checker, we have quite a few of it, so let's just see what else we can pick up.
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
like I for sure want to look up is the body. Oh, hey, look, there's a guitar. So, I have on here singing because, you know, they met him at a bar and everything, and now there's a guitar, so I'm assuming the singing has to do with something.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
Okay, so... Okay, all I marked down was some notes for me. It was not something that I'm going to actually do in the gameplay, but... So the body was found by the one in the orange shirt, which was 27:06:94 at 20:52:58. Okay. So I think we're on to something here. Okay, what is this?
Really? Okay. Here's the rest.
Oh, that says here's the rest. So we're gonna say rest. We'll add that to session so we can find it later. Okay, I don't want to get,
imagine?
I don't want to miss anything.
I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up.
Wow.
Set us down separate paths. We had become different. It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger.
What?
Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it.
What?
The watch. That was my touch.
You...
To make sure the alibi stuck.
You basically just confessed. Right, I think that's Simon, the person we just think. Confession? Wasn't that basically just a confession? Alright, I want to see this, so... I want to see this guitar thing. Oh. Okay, so I'll put a guitar.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion.
Ha, tattoo, so haha.
I was singing in a bar in the
I was
evenings.
good about putting that down.
So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
Okay.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Yeah, that's Simon. Okay. Well, let's look up. Good. Low key can't spell right now. Nope, that's not how you spell. I can't. Oh, there we go.
No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar. You want me to play something?
Okay. So here's
I'm
the
not
first part.
world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and
What?
out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
What? Let me get this straight. You, in that song, you just said that you, what? We need to watch the second half.
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bones. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone.
Why would you sing
oh,
this?
The wind
To the police!
The sound could pierce a heart of stone.
What is wrong with you?
Wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Don't clap, don't applaud. Why are you
Anything
laughing?
used as evidence against you?
What? Why would you? No, what? I'm so... This is mahogany. I am so... I don't know what to do anymore with my life. I'm just... Why would you... Okay. Moving on with our lives. Why would you write? Why would you sing that to the police officers when you're at a murder? English, please. When you're trying to figure out this person's murder, about who murdered them, like, what in their right mind would want to sing that? It's like, oh yeah, I dabble in music. Let's talk about this girl dying. Yeah. It's like, what? Okay. Okay. There's something really important I want to look up. Nothing on cheating. Okay. So there's nothing on cheating. Okay. Heaven forbid me if I spelled that wrong. Okay.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents. Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days, no one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage, the worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
See that again, okay. I think the more we see that guy, the more we're getting onto it.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications. Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then...
Oh, that was a new face. That was a new face. Okay, hang on. Everything just got, like, the colors just changed. Okay, so, hang on. So her parents died. Okay, so there's a lot going on right now. Can you pick a color and stay there, computer? Thank you. So there. Okay. Okay. Let me just get this straight, all in my own mind. Okay. So Simon is dead. There's Hannah and Eve. They've been growing up together. Hannah fell in love with Eve. I just completely butchered that sentence. Hannah and Eve fell in love with Simon. Hannah broke the rules and, canoodled with Simon. And then she got pregnant. Eve was really mad. They got married. Hannah had a miscarriage, and Eve's like, everything is aligned again. Well, Hannah is just like, everything went. So, okay, let's see what they have to say about Eric.
He was wearing a shirt.
Well, I hope he would be wearing a
blue
shirt.
turtleneck shirt.
There we go, thank you.
He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Okay.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Sorry. Alright.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Okay, we're filling in this top bar. Alright. So there is a lot going on. So, something that I think would be important to the murder. Let's see. Talked about a wallet. Can't tell.
He has a wallet, a huge, silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before, when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Okay. Let's see what they got for argument. Okay.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes. He's married couple stuff. A stupid argument. Nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to. No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Not this time, honey.
Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Okay. There's something we're missing because, like... Because back in Glasgow, she said that she just arrived there. Why? Why in Glasgow? Here we are.
And what did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair?
Affair?
Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him. I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him? I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Help me spell, please. Just thought of something I should have looked up at the very beginning, which was a murder weapon. Hang on. What was this?
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now.
Oh, that's someone. You've got no murder weapon, you've got nothing. Alright. What about just weapon? No? Okay. So that's a dead end. Okay, so we've got Glasgow. We're missing something. We're missing something and it's right in front of us. What are we missing? What are we missing?
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV.
Okay.
He likes TV.
Good to know.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake. It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. Well, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me. No, I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
There's something about that mirror.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
Okay.
Silver leaf? No. He normally silvers them properly.
Wait a minute.
This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Wait a minute. It was encased in a bag, which either means A, it was broken, or B, it was used as a murder weapon. Okay. Might be somewhere with the mirror. Circle that. You mentioned something about a cut earlier.
His body. It didn't look real.
Dead bodies normally don't. If you've been to a funeral.
His throat.
What about his throat?
It looked like his throat had been cut.
Aha! Throat cut.
And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses.
That's how he died. Okay.
He doesn't always wear it.
I think I'm onto something here.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Okay.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty, pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flick between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
So if his throat was cut, like I said before, so that mirror was in a bag, meaning either it had DNA on it that could potentially lead to murder, to the murderer, or it was missing a shard of glass, and that shard of glass happened. Let's just see if there's anything that has to do with the mirror shard. And if not, then we're gonna kill that. immediately. Okay, we're gonna kill that. Kill that. Just trying all my options. Okay. There's nothing attached. Here we go.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that.
Because it said that there
I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
Hi, Simon.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
About the mirror being the murder weapon. There's other Hannah or Eve that was the murderer. Let's see if they've got anything about a confession. Said who killed him. Find a way to just like what am I missing? I have to be missing something. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Missing something. What am I missing?
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but... 1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful. They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.